All right, welcome to another episode of the Couch Coaches podcast where we talk about everything going on in sports. And once again, we have an episode where everybody on the panel is sad because our teams played like caca this weekend. And so we're here to talk about our caca playing teams. Let's start with the Raiders. Brother James, thoughts on your Raiders game on Sunday? Getting busy, fool.
Can you hear us?
Come off of mute.
Is he in a daze?
It's a bad start, just like the Raiders on Sunday.
I wonder if he can see us. Wave. See, make sure you can even
Come off of mute. Come off your mute, man. This is not a good
Picture
start.
frozen. He's still stuck on Sunday. Oh, poor guy.
I nobody stuck on Sunday. I was telling you, I was doing a package and the dog was barking. Let me go ahead and put it on mute. And then as soon as I say that, Joe said, "Let's start, brother."
Hey, man,
Okay,
gotta stay in your
so
toes.
here we go. All right. So the issue of it is we have no running game. We are like someone said, there's no identity there. There's no challenge, and we need a quarterback. I mean, we brought what's his name? O'Donnell.
Minshew.
No, we benched him and then brought old boy in.
Aiden O'Connell.
O'Connell. I think he, accuracy wise, I think he's the better quarterback. But we just need a quarterback for real. I don't know about the Davante Adams thing. If he go, he goes. If he stay, he stay. I mean, hopefully he stays. Because he is a threat, no matter what. But he can't be a threat if we can't get him the ball. I think, yeah, that part. I think we need to go searching for a quarterback and a running back.
All right, Deacon Greg.
Well, I wish it was that simple. The Raiders are done. They are done. They are done. They are done. It's more than just a running back. They don't even open up holes for the running back. He's running every time he gets the ball. He's running into a wall. So you can have the best running back. Derrick Henry ain't running nowhere through that line. So and then far as the quarterback, I've been hearing today they have it's still in the air, but O'Connell might start. And my personal opinion, you have nothing to lose. You might as well go with him. You already see what Minshew has, and that's not much. He doesn't have a strong arm, and then his accuracy is crazy. That doggone pick six that he threw on the 5-yard line was just crazy. And they said that kind of turned the game, which it would have. They would have been up 17-3, but still, Denver had so much momentum. Their defense was playing lights out. I think they would have probably still came back and rolled on the Raiders. On our defensive side, I just seen we just lost Christian Watkins, our big-time offseason acquisition, the defensive tackle that we got from Miami. He's on the IR, so now here comes Pittsburgh. With they're not much of a great running game, but they're going to try. They pound the ball regardless. So and I just think that the Raiders have so many problems going on that I think this season is a wash. It's sad to say this early, week 6, but it's pretty much a wash. They got too many things going on with Davante Adams. I wish he would be gone already because that's just such a big distraction. Even if he came back, what is he going to do? It's not going to help anything. So you might as well see if you got any trade value, and start trying to evaluate for next season. It's hard, as heartbreaking as that is to say, as a realistic Raider fan. If they get wins, they just get wins, but they're going nowhere fast.
You almost made me cry. It was true.
But if you guys can move Davante, get some draft picks for next season, and let's just say you guys have a higher draft pick there's a bunch of teams that have higher draft picks too that don't need quarterbacks, and that's great for you guys because I think what really happened last season, I think Atlanta screwed you guys. I think they took both quarterbacks that you guys could have gotten. You guys could have either gone out and gotten Kirk Cousins for a veteran presence, or you were going to go get Penix, and they did both of them. And I'm sure that just that messed your draft process up because I'm sure you guys thought Penix was going to be there, and he should have.
Yeah, they did. But again, we'll see what happens with O'Connell. You know, he played last year. He played decent. Let the rookie play and see what he has. At least you'll know what you have this year. So roll the dice and go for it.
Well, if he goes out there on Sunday, man, that is a trial by fire because Pittsburgh offense isn't much, but their defense is filthy.
Well, I think with him, I mean, he's like I don't contribute with this Denver game as a knock against him because when you're coming out off the bench, Cole, with no reps throughout the week or nothing like that,
yeah.
So they need to make their decision if they're going to go with him, put him in there with the first team, and get him ready to go on Sunday. But come off the bench, you know, in the hostile environment in Denver against that defense, you know, what do you expect?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. All right, moving to our Niners, Brother Bill. We were at the same event on Sunday, so we were watching the game from the Gamecast on our phones, making eyeballs at each other with Sister Rhonda and stuff as things declined very fast at the end of the game. But I'm sure you've gone back and watched the highlights or lowlights and listened to sports commentary. So what are your thoughts on the Niners' epic collapse again on Sunday?
Yeah, two takeaways. Number one is they don't anticipate the other team's defense making second half adjustments. Number one, that's been true of both the Arizona game and the Rams game. Is even worse. And number two, even not accounting for the other team making adjustments, their offense is becoming ridiculously predictable. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, for the credit of being a genius, whatever that means, you know, scripting plays, they get off to great starts. But then two things. Inside the 20, when you are 1 of 4 in the red zone against the Arizona Cardinals, you got to give them credit because they're the division rival, but that just can't happen if you're going to play winning football. You got to find a way to punch it in the end zone. Even without McCaffrey, Offensive Player of the Year, you know, we get that. However, you got enough other weapons, you got to be able to dial up some plays to get that thing in the end zone. And then you lose your kicker, Jake Moody, too. So then you got to worry about how you're even going to score if you can't kick field goals. And I haven't talked about the defense yet. Sorensen, got to go. This is 5 weeks in, and other teams, I mean, after what Matthew Stafford, what the Rams did, where he came up on line of scrimmage and was able to dissect exactly what defense was doing to pick us apart, that carried over again. So he's got to go. And what did we say before the season started? If Robert Saleh is available, pick him up. Here we go. I'm waiting for the breaking news to come through within the next couple of weeks. That Sorensen is down. We picked up Robert Saleh while he's available. See if we can do something to get our defense that's some energy back, because we're probably not going to have Dre Greenlaw this year.
Yeah, and
hey, Bill, how many tackles do you expect Saleh to make for you guys?
All of them.
It isn't about him making tackles. It's about his schemes that work that got us to the Super Bowl. Someplace that even if we don't go, y'all definitely aren't going to go.
You're not saying that's not breaking news.
I'm trying to be good to hold my mule and not say nothing bad about the Raiders, but you're tempting me. Hey, don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
Go ahead, go for it. I'm gonna push you over without a parachute.
I think so. The place that I think that puts us, just to show us exactly where we are defensively, never in a million years would an opponent say how mediocre your defense is a couple of days before a big game. And DK Metcalf was at a press conference talking about how this is the least worried he's ever been. He doesn't see anything special. He thinks he's going to have a huge day against us. That is unheard of. I mean, we're the defense the last few years that once you played us, you lost the next game because we beat you up so bad. And now we're 5 games in and we have an opposing wide receiver talking about how he's going to have a big game against us because we suck.
You guys
I had a big game against our defense.
You're overrated. Okay, let's just get that out the way. Look, I didn't want to say this, but it was.
Hey, you're out of turn. You don't have the floor yet. You don't have the floor.
Yeah. No, he always got the floor because y'all
he never had the floor. He got the floor like the team has the floor.
The modern day Buffalo Bills.
It's your guys' fault that Saleh's got fired. When they realized how sorry your guys are. They go, hey, everybody on the Niners are overrated. This coach is overrated. Let's get him out of here.
Oh man, just stop it. Just stop it.
Man,
I
okay.
would say though, DK Metcalf. Sometimes you would say, well, that's just clipboard, what do
Bulletin
they
board
call
material.
it, chalkboard material. But he's right. If you look at our defensive line, what I always say, the advantage we had was we could be able to get a push with just a front four. Can't do that now. Linebacking, not the same without Dre. Take Fred Warner out of the game. We have no linebacker who can cover. Our secondary, no. 22 Yodom, gotta go, can't cover. So there's holes. It is a question of the defense is overrated, but there are holes in the defense that other teams, it's glaringly obvious now. That's all. It isn't about whether we're overrated or not. You look at what you got, and we're an easy team just to put up points on. Throughout the game, you just have to stay patient.
Can I ask one question, Bill? I ain't
No,
not gonna ask Joe this question. I want to ask you, because Joe, I know where he's going. What are your expectations moving forward?
My expectations moving forward that the best chance the 49ers have of getting the playoffs is to win the division and get a four and at the 4 seed, because the teams that they are chasing, they're not going to catch Minnesota, they're not, or Detroit. One of those two teams is going to win the division. They're not going to. Washington has been the shock of the season so far. The Washington Commanders. I'm looking at seeding. Best they can do is get a 4 seed and then take their chances if they can even get there.
And they've already lost 2 division games, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but that's what I say. You just have to win the division. However you win the division, however you do it. The other problem though is if you look at the rest of their schedule, these were 2 games that they had to win. So now they're already behind 2 games. So even if they miraculously can beat Kansas City, not going to happen. We saw that they did last night. They're just that good. Even if they beat Seattle, they have to try to find a way to get it back on schedule, which I always said you have to win 3 of every 4 games. And that's going to be extremely difficult with the rest of their schedule.
So you're about like where we are with the Raiders. Thank you.
No. You guys have absolutely no chance because you're not going to win the division.
You're not either.
Our only chance is the division is still up there because the Rams, Arizona. We just got to beat both those teams when we play them again, and we got to take care of Seattle.
I think the bigger concern, as bad as the defense is, our offense scored 0 points in the second half.
Correct.
And
again,
and when your excuse is we don't have McCaffrey, when he's top 1 or 2 of dual threat running backs, greatest in history, when you don't have the best player at their position, and that's the reason you're collapsing. When you have
time out.
Hold on. When you have
Did you say greatest in history
of a dual threat running back? Yeah, it's him. It's him and Marshall Faulk.
No.
Yes.
No. Listen to what he said.
Let's go back to the next topic because you're tripping.
Dual threat quarterback. I mean, dual threat running back. Where he can catch? What are you talking about? Who else is there? Roger Craig.
Yeah. It was several running backs that could do. No, come on.
Who?
Could or had the numbers to prove it. Joe is right. If you look at the numbers, Falk was the reason why the Rams won that Super Bowl. As greatest show on turf, fine, but he was the matchup advantage for the Rams throughout the whole season.
Okay.
Come
y'all
on,
right.
man. I know you saw the Super Bowl. Come on, man.
I mean, y'all right. Y'all always right, man. That's why y'all's team is same record as ours.
For this week, but yeah, for this week only.
I mean, we may beat Pittsburgh. I told you we beat teams we're supposed to lose to.
Exactly. We lose. We only beat horrible teams, and you guys only beat good teams. The whole thing is, but the fact that we have 2 $30 million wide receivers, the fact that we have one of the highest paid tight ends, the fact that we have a very competent running back.
That's right.
And Kyle,
and then you got a decent quarterback.
It's Kyle,
and y'all still suck.
It's Kyle, because Kyle does the same. Kyle is the guy who goes, I don't have to game plan for this team specific. He's the opposite of Belichick. I don't have to game plan for this team specifically because if we execute my plans, nobody can stop us. So then when we get out there and they start stopping us in the freaking second half, we can't do anything about it because he can't adjust, because he can't wrap his head around the fact that he's been doing the same freaking thing for 5 years with the Niners offense, and people know what we're going to do, and they shut it down. And the crappy Cardinals gave us 0 points in the second half. Kyle, look in the freaking mirror, bro. It's you. It's your stupid game plan that's not adjusting to the freaking team. It's you, bro.
But you know what though? At least we have an identity. The Raiders have no identity. The Raiders are nameless and faceless and invisible. We have an identity. We just got to adjust, make sure that we finish the game in the second half.
It's gonna be.
Bill, that's old news. I said that 2 weeks ago.
Even if we adjust,
I'm gonna say it again because it's gonna be true every week.
But even if we play better, we're still playing better, doing the same stuff. We're just executing a little bit better, which still causes us to have the same issue when we get to the playoffs or get to the Super Bowl. As they go, we know exactly what they're going to do. So when it's 3rd and 3 and we have to have this to win a Super Bowl, we can't do it because they know exactly what's coming.
I can't believe it. Joe is more realistic than Bill.
I want to throw up.
How am I unrealistic? I said the issues is that we're predictable on offense. Are you even paying attention tonight?
All right, on to somebody else's problem. Because I'm gonna throw up. My head's gonna explode. Are the Jets a real organization, or is Rodgers the quarterback and the GM and the VP of football operations and stuff? Because of all the issues I see with the Jets, none of them are on defense. Yet when Saleh tries to get what's his name, the offensive coordinator that Aaron Rodgers brought in, when he tried to move him off of play calling and move somebody else in there, he's gone. What in the world are the Brother Bell? I'm gonna start with you. Are the Jets a serious organization?
The issue with the Jets is they brought in a diva quarterback, and they thought that he was going to be the secret to get to making them a serious competitor in the AFC East, and it's been nothing but drama. That's the problem. I mean, we always talk about chemistry and how easy it is for one player to mess up the chemistry of the team. There was this belief that because they brought him in off of his resume way back when they won the Super Bowl at Green Bay. He's not that same guy. And it's one thing to say, okay, yeah, he's older and not mobile, but the attitude, the whole thing with him off season, not showing up to camp, it was doomed from the start before the season even started. He got Robert Saleh fired.
Okay.
Go for it, James.
So as far as the camp thing, he never, even at Green Bay, he didn't do the camp. That's just something that he really has never done. Okay, but he is a quarterback that's, like you said, Bill, which was, I gave some credit. You were right. Okay, they were going off his resume and who he is as a quarterback, and you want to, as the team just trying to make him happy, but in the meanwhile, he's already washed up. So why would you try to make somebody washed up happy? You know what I mean? I mean, you at your last leg, bruh. You need to get what you can get and move on. The issue of it is the Jets had no backbone, and my issue of it is the coach. They always trying to fire the coach first, and I get it. He's the captain. He's the leader of the whole team. But the issue of it is he's not out there playing. He ain't missing any tackles. He ain't throwing 3 interceptions in one game. I mean, so why fire him? I can understand if it was a couple seasons and he was just doing bad, then you fire him. But you fire him in mid-season because you got a quarterback named Aaron Rodgers? Really?
You fire him because of the optics when you're in the biggest sports market in the country. It's between New York and LA, but I mean, in the NFL, let's just face it, it's New York because not much is happening down in LA, right? And not as much. So it's the market, it's the whole, again, it started when they couldn't find a quarterback the last 2 years, and his record was because they just didn't have a quarterback. So he's already behind the 8 ball, and they lose Rodgers last year. But the tipping point was when there was a perception that there was a rift between them, and there was question whether or not he had lost control of the team. And I in watching, when it was announced on the news this morning, the conversations with all the analysts was they fired him now because they still think that there's an opportunity to right the ship and actually try to get them into try to salvage the season. But they're in the wrong division for that to happen. They're in the wrong conference for that to happen. Now,
wrong conference. The division is pretty. I mean, the bill, except for the. I mean, you know,
Bills.
going to win.
Yeah, Bills. The Dolphins. No, too. We don't worry much about the Dolphins, and New England don't worry about them either. But it like I said, I think that we're going to see now that you got Jeff Ulbrich, who's the interim coordinator, interim head coach, your defensive coordinator, instead of your offensive coordinator being promoted head coach. Now that says something about your offense. So I'm surprised that I can't. I'm drawing a blank too on who the OC is, but you're going to find out the rest. Who? Hackett. Thank you. Yeah. So they didn't even promote it. So to me, if you think your defensive strength of your team, why would you move your defensive coordinator away? But now you need to find a new defensive coordinator. So that's a little faith I think the GM and the owner have it in Paul Hackett.
They can have our defensive coordinator. I'm willing to do that. And then we'll get Saleh.
The reason they fired the coach, one of the main reasons, like you said, because they had a rift between him and Aaron Rodgers. I remember a couple of weeks ago when they were talking about the snap count. He was holding the ball. He was counting, too many snap counts or whatever, and drawing his own team off sides. So he went public. The coach went public with that. So that started Aaron Rodgers on his own little leg. You can't show me up. And then plus, his record is 20-36. So I know he inherited a bad organization, a bad, team. But when you're 20-36, they're looking at that also. And far as you saying moving the defensive coordinator over to the head coach, even if he's still a defensive mind, so he's still going to be in that room, that team room with the defense. He's still going to be over that defense. They're still going to be running the same defense, so they can move him over. But the reason they moved him because they have more confidence in him than they do in Hackett as the leader. But yeah, like they're saying, this ain't your father's team or whatever. That the Jets is your father's team. They've been that way for so doggone long. That's who the Jets are. So they're going nowhere, just like my Raiders.
I'm wondering if they are. I wonder if part of it was a business move, because if they're the first team looking for a head coach, then whatever coach is out there, whether it's Belichick or whether it's Vrabel or somebody else, then they are the first team that's kind of able to discuss it. And I don't know if maybe it was just a move like that. I don't know who in the world would want to go in there and deal with Rodgers.
If Rodgers, if he might not even be there next year. If this team goes south, he's done anyway. So
I would hope so. And he'll go to Miami because Tua will be out because his head fell off. All right, last subject of the night. The Browns have a huge problem. They seem to have a pretty competent offensive head coach. They've had a very strong defense the last few years. This was supposed to be a year that Deshaun, got his first full year back from not playing, taking a break, to come back and and they're horrific. They're terrible. He still has $190 million left, $200 million left on his contract. What do you do? It's fully guaranteed. Like, realistically, if you're a Browns fan or if Watson is your quarterback and you're this bad, what in the world do you do with what do you do with him? Brother Bill, I'll start with you. Like, what do you do with Watson, our quarterback?
Yeah, if you want to salvage your season and try to get into the playoffs, bench Watson, start Jameis Winston. Can't be worse.
Cannot be worse.
Cannot be worse. I mean, Winston he was good when he was at the Saints. The challenge was, in my opinion, they just didn't run the ball and put too much pressure on him. They just weren't balanced offensively. They had a very good defense, right? But with Watson, you could say, financially, why are you going to pay him all this money and not play him? Well, if you want to play him and then keep losing, then okay, sure, you can go ahead and do that. But if you, like I said, if you want to try to still stay competitive in a very tough division anyways, with Cincinnati and the Ravens and Pittsburgh, then you take your chances with Jameis Winston.
I mean, so not even this season, just like, what do you do, like, in general? Because he's still there. I mean, contractually, he, like, right now, I think he's adjusted his contract, which then pushes it out a few years, but he has like 10 years left on his contract.
Yeah, they're stuck. Let's put it this way. I think it's gonna cost them for years until they're able to move him somewhere else. If this is what he is, then how do you build a team around him where you don't have to, where he can just be a Trent Dilfer like Dilfer was with the Ravens and still try to find a way to win in spite of him?
Yeah. Brother James, what do you do if you're the Browns with Deshaun?
Well, contractually wise, you can't do nothing, but you got to pay him. So I mean, but I'm with Bill. I was, I'm playing. If I'm trying to win, I'm putting the people in there that's gonna help me win. So I will go with James. I mean Winston. I forgot he still played. I ain't heard nothing from him in so long.
W.
But yeah, no matter. I mean, you just pay him until. But then at the issue of it, see, and that's why I think they should be able to go in and renegotiate these contracts, or they should be putting it in the clause. Hey, if you subpar performance, we have the right to renegotiate. You know, but they're in a hard spot. They're in a real hard spot. So I would say that you know I will get my money's worth out of them.
Yeah, but what's your money? It's this put up like 3 points.
Yeah, so maybe next week he put up 6.
Deacon Hill, what do you think?
Well, like you said, there's no negotiation. There's no negotiating when it says guaranteed. So his contract is guaranteed. So they got to pay him his money, and I would stay with him for at least I'd stay with him because maybe something the light might turn on, but you're gonna have to pay him anyway. And we already know what Jameis. You're gonna say that Winston is this. We know what Jameis Winston is. He's a turnover machine. He's gonna stay. He might play decent for a little while, but he's gonna start turning that ball over. So we already seen enough of Jameis Winston. He ain't taking you nowhere. So you got to pay this guy all that money. He's gonna, like you said, he's gonna earn that money. You ain't sitting on the bench earning that money. You out there on the field with the rest of these guys. Get out there now.
I'd have him carrying water, bro. I don't want to.
Greg, what you say, Deshaun Watson? What you say? The light's gonna what? This is what the light's gonna do with him. It's gonna go off and stay off. It ain't coming on.
Hey, so Watson. So I looked up his contract. He's under contract to 2026. He's owed $92 million after the season, which is not. I mean, which isn't as bad as I thought. I didn't realize his contract was only 5 years. So they're already paid him a ton of money. So either they're just gonna. God, that sucks because you're just wasting all these other, like they have a good team and you're just wasting all these other good players, especially on defense, just waiting for this fool's money to run out. But so he has like 2 years left on the contract. But if one of these massage things keep popping up, I think that's like the one thing in the contract that'll void the contract. I bet you the Browns are calling every masseuse in Houston saying, you have any problem with Deshaun Watson? You have any issue with, or you have any issues? Anything you want to bring up? Anything that maybe was a little weird? I bet you they're calling everybody going, we need to get this fool off the books and get somebody else in. I don't understand why they let Flacco sign with the Colts. And I don't know if that's just because Flacco signed and then they got Jameis, right? That's why they got Jameis. Okay.
Right.
I don't know why. I mean, Flacco, I mean, it was awful at the end of the, that last game in the playoffs, but like, he's doing this thing with the Colts. I don't know what. I don't know. It'd be hard to bench him because you owe him, if it's like whatever it is, like $40 million a year for the next couple of years, $45 million a year. But I mean, the fan base has got to be getting angry too. I can't imagine.
Yeah, he's gonna play and get banged up a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna be like,
I'm telling you, you gotta get out there. You ain't sitting on the bench with all that money.
They're gonna do like a whatever, like nobody in the backfield and the offensive line just gonna go bloop and just let them come get him.
What's that movie? Necessary Roughness. Remember that movie?
They're just gonna Olay the whoop, go for it. Hey, they're gonna let TJ Watt. Hey, there you go, TJ. Yeah. All right, so you guys have the Steelers this weekend. That will be a very tough game, and you guys should lose, which means you guys will probably win. So you guys will be happy. We are playing the Seahawks on Thursday. DK Metcalf is talking crap about our defense, which is not good because he knows it's bulletin board material and he still doesn't care, which if he proves them right, that will be even worse. So I don't even really want to think about that. But hopefully we are here next week, both happy talking about 2 wins instead of 2 freaking losses again, like we've been doing. Brother James, you got
Niners need to sign Robbie Gould tomorrow. Get him out of retirement, get him off his coach, sign him tomorrow.
For sure.
We need to kick him.
For sure.
Look, we're gonna be both gonna lose again this week. We're gonna be talking about the same
positive, man. Positive. What?
Hey,
the Raiders are gonna win. We always play Pittsburgh tough. We always beat
We
Pittsburgh.
do.
We always play Pittsburgh. So
we lost to them last year though.
Yeah, we did. But recently we had their number. So
yeah.
Maybe you guys get Russell Wilson on Sunday, then you guys will definitely win.
He's practicing.
Hey, maybe I take him. He can come and be a Raider. He better than what we got.
Yeah, I'll take him at this
Baby,
point.
I don't know. Wait for him to get out there first. Wait before you say that. He may not be.
Real quick, Joe, you asked it. I was trying to hold my mule. You're asking why Devontae Adams still with the Raiders?
Yeah.
I think it's because they are trying him out at the quarterback position because they have no quarterback.
Wow, and breaking news again, Bill. Boy, you're a genius. Woo! Let me write that down.
Write it down, please do.
Only Bill. Only Bill.
Do.
Only Billy.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. If O'Connell gets murdered on against the Steelers because TJ Watt comes to get him, you may see Devontae back there. All right, guys, have a good rest of your week. Fingers crossed for Thursday. Hopefully, Raiders get a win. Hopefully, Raiders get a win on Sunday against the Steelers, so we have something positive to talk about next week. But have a good week, and we'll see you